Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, a lot of, first of all, Danny Garcia and Terence Crawford, they've been exchanging words on social media all day. As you guys may or may not know, Terence Crawford and Danny Garcia do have some history. They fought multiple times in the amateurs, with Danny Garcia winning once, Terence Crawford winning once. Danny was the former, he was the man at 140 when he was there. Terence is now the current unified champion. He is the man at 140, and he just beat the guy Victor Postal, who Danny Garcia paid step-aside money to before he moved up to 147. So with that being said, I wanted to get into what they were saying and more about this whole issue, because it all started with Danny's dad, Angel, after the Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz fight. They asked him about Crawford Postal, and he called Crawford a made champion, and that's how the whole social media beef, I guess, got started. So here's what Crawford said to Garcia. He said, I quote, "Your dad said I'm a made-up champion for beating the guy y'all was scared to fight." Danny then, in response, says, I quote, "You're doing what I did 3 years ago. I'm not no little Gamboa or stiff Postal. I end careers. Check my track record." Crawford then responds to that by saying, "The same stiff guy y'all paid so you didn't have to fight him, right? That guy? Look, I'm not them old guys you've been fighting. You know that. So tell you what. Tell your dad to make the fight, and I'll show him how much of a paper champion I am at your weight and for your belt." And then he also said, how do you run a weight class but pay someone step aside money not to fight you, but you ran through the weight class? How does that go? And then Danny hits Crawford with them facts. He says, "Your fight with Postal on HBO pay-per-view did 50,000 buys. If you want to do real numbers and get defeated, tell Bob to call out." Now, when I mean facts, I'm talking about pay-per-view buys. I don't think he beat Crawford, but he said, yeah. So that's and then they've had a couple of other things that have been going on Twitter. If you guys go look it up, you can go find it yourself. But yeah, man. Obviously, I wanted to do a video for a while. I just never got around to it. And it's about, I guess, the top 5 fights that I want to see in boxing. And if I had to, when I do that video, this one will be definitely on it, if not at the top, because obviously I'm a big Terence Crawford fan. You guys follow the channel, you know how high I am, how ridiculously high I am on Terence Crawford. You guys know I'm not a big Garcia guy, but I understand that that's a big fight, and this is the way I see it. Danny Garcia at 140, he proved himself. 147, hasn't really gotten the opponents we'd like to see him in the ring with as of yet. Being very carefully managed at 147. I feel like Terence Crawford is the kind of opponent he needs, because in the eyes of a lot of boxing fans, Danny Garcia hasn't really done anything in the last 3 or 4 years. That's the way people see it. That being said, Crawford's on the pound for pound list. Crawford's undefeated. Crawford is looked at in the eyes of many as maybe the best American fighter out right now. So with that being said, if Danny was able to fight him, beat him, that puts Danny's career at a whole other level. He has a really good resume as it is now from his days at 140. But if he puts Crawford on that resume, that takes it to that next level. That takes it to like that Hall of Fame level. So yeah, I think the fight so there's benefits in it for Garcia. Now, what the benefits are for Crawford is it's much of the same thing, but a little bit different. Danny's also an undefeated fighter. He's a proven champion at 140, not 147, but at 140. And a win over Garcia, or just not even the win, a fight against Garcia was going to get him a lot more exposure than he's gotten in his whole career, because he hasn't been fortunate enough to land the Pacquiao fight yet. He got screwed by Bob Arum in Top Rank, as I made a video on, and they put it on pay-per-view. Only 50,000 people bought it, because honestly, nobody outside the hardcore boxing community wanted to see that fight or was going to buy that fight. And even a lot of hardcore fans that I know, and just in general, didn't want to buy the fight because they didn't view it in that realm of pay-per-view fights. So here Crawford in the end. So he needs that big fight, that exposure to take him to that next level. So whether you're a Garcia fan, whether you're a Crawford fan, or you're neutral, whatever, they both, I feel like they both need each other, and I feel like that's a fight that should happen. You know, I don't want to say that it's gonna happen, or I even think that it's gonna happen, because honestly, I don't. Just the way boxing works, but there are some factors here to where the fight could happen. If one of these guys picks up a win, a big win, I'm talking like if Danny fights Thurman next year, or Porter, or one of those big 147 guys, but more so particularly Thurman, if he beats a guy like that, then I think that fight gets a little bit more realistic and a little bit more bigger. Now, the fight becomes more realistic if it becomes on Crawford's side, because if Crawford gets a Pacquiao fight and he beats Pacquiao, then that makes him even more marketable, because you're the guy, you got Manny Pacquiao on your resume, and who wouldn't want to fight a guy who's beat Manny Pacquiao? That makes business sense. You can sell around you could sell around that. So a lot of factors here, but I want to see this fight, and it's good to see that, you know, fighters are both just talking trash as far as, you know, boxing. You know, obviously Danny took some shots at pay-per-view buys, but they're keeping it boxing, which is what I like to see. So shout out to both of those guys. Hopefully we get the fight one day. And I'm gonna go on record now. So I said before, I think Terence would win. I just think he's the more skilled fighter. But leave your comments down below. Who do you guys think would win? Do you think this fight even ever happened? Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.